We are not against HMOs and recognise their place in the appropriate communities. We believe that our already strong, cohesive neighbourhood in Larn Drive will be shattered by this overdevelopment of a 3-bed semi into a large 7-bedroom HMO. We agree providing the appropriate housing is a challenge for all counties within Wales. However, a 7-bed large HMO in this small cul-de-sac is disproportionate to the rest of the homes in the street and to the need in the wider community for this type of property. This has already been proven by the fact that the Gladstone Road HMO is not to full capacity, but there are other reasons too. The footprint of this property is too small for a 7-bed HMO. It will not be the same as a 7-person family home. It will be occupied by 7 solitary and transient people who will create excessive rubbish and recycling because they will not share food, cleaning products or sanitary products. This is a direct contrast to the existing residents. The fire precautions on plan are the same as a hotel. This is not a hotel, it's residential. Tenants would build up clutter as we all do, so halls and landings will not be sterile areas as in a hotel. This will compromise their means of escape in the case of fire. Tenants require a position of relative, then ultimate safety outside and clear from the fire. Amenity space at the rear is smaller than SPGM2 guidelines and there is no access from rear to front. As such, this does not provide an area of relative safety, let alone ultimate safety. The front escape window is blocked by cycle racks, industrial bins and car park spaces. If a car catches fire, the means of escape will again be compromised. The location plan and site plan show different details, so how can health and safety be approved? With the amenity space being smaller than the guidelines, even for the previous application of 5 bedrooms, let alone 7, it is detrimental to the future tenants' health and well-being. Bikes outside the property are a magnet for crime, which is a risk to neighbouring properties. Bins are industrial, so not in keeping with the area, and the house is over-dominant in the street. In this area, such a property is likely to attract contract workers. Tenants, therefore, will have a car each, but only 3 spaces are provided, which will result in overparking. Children travelling to school are already having to walk on the road. Disabled residents are already struggling to use pavements. Drive access is likely to be obstructed regularly due to lack of space to park, which will also affect access for emergency services and bin collection. There are no disabled spaces for future tenants on the plan because there's no room. Does this mean that a disabled person would be excluded from renting a room in this large HMO? Surely that's an equality issue. There has already been an adverse effect on the health and well-being of current residents, despite the report stating no evidence of this. Residents can supply it. The Gladstone Road HMO has definitely had an adverse effect on the well-being of the neighbour who has boarded up his house and moved out. And 50+ objections were received from the community. The application for a 7-bed HMO should be refused on these grounds. It is too big. To recap, there are serious fire safety concerns, danger to pedestrian safety, including children and disabled residents. SPGM2 guidelines have been ignored. There are equality issues with no disability provision and no consideration for the health and well-being of current and future residents.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.